In the check-in area, you can create questions for your clients to complete, either daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, to see how they're getting on. You'll be able to provide feedback to your clients' check-ins, which we will give you the option to use AI to draft a response. To start creating a check-in, simply click Create Check-in at the bottom of your page. You can then give it a name, and if you have any existing check-ins, you can even use one of those as a template. Once you have done this, you can then give your check-in a description. This is for the client to see, and you can add any information you like. The next page is where you can create your check-in and add any questions, from asking the client to upload progress photos, update their measurements, all the way to an option rating in which they could say whether they've enjoyed the workouts that week. Next to each question, there is also a few action icons, such as making the question mandatory, so the client must complete it. Also, you can duplicate the question and delete the question. Another couple of things that you might notice, when you add the questions of measurement updates and uploading progress photos, you can untick the ones you do not want your client to update. Also, at the top of the page, like the workouts area, you have the arrow icons which will allow you to move the order of the questions. Once you're happy with your check-in, you can go to the next area, which is Schedule. In the Schedule area, you have a couple of options to say how frequently you want your client to complete the check-in, which could be daily, weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly. Other than if you select daily, you have the option to select what day the check-in opens, when this check-in becomes overdue, but also when it closes, as after it closes, the client cannot complete the check-in. On bi-weekly and monthly, you will see there are a few more additional options. This is so you can be more specific for when the client's check-in is available to complete. You can then head to the next area, which is Notifications. You can select a time in which you want the notification to be sent to the client. When the check-in opens, this can be sent via both email and push notification. If you have selected for the check-in to become overdue, if not completed, you can also have a push notification and email sent to the client that day to give them a reminder. Once you've selected this all, you can then review your check-in and save it. It will then take you back to the main check-in area, and by clicking the three dots next to your check-in, you can assign to your clients or a client group, duplicate, edit, and even delete. We give an option to use AI to review and draft a response to your client's completed check-ins. Head to your AI settings to configure. You can select everything from tone of voice, emoji level, and even select which data you'd like to be used when reviewing the check-in. You can also add custom prompts. For example, you could ask AI to use the same sign-off each time to remain consistent with something you say already. From the navigation bar, you will see your check-in inbox. Here you can see any check-ins that have been completed by the client and ready for your review, but also any you have recently reviewed. To review a check-in, simply click Ready for Review. Once here, you can go through all of the answers your client has provided. You can even compare them to previous check-in they have completed. At the bottom of the page, you can then review the check-in by writing out a response or providing a voice note. You can add formatting to this box and even external links. This is great if you wish to add a video response. The option for AI to provide a response is located under Write with AI. By selecting this, it will take a few moments to gather the data and write you a draft response. There is also an icon next to this to change any prompts that will be for that individual customer and remain there for all future check-ins. Once happy with your response, you can then mark as reviewed and the client will be able to see your response, but you can always go back in and update the review. You also have an overdue area where any clients who have not yet completed their check-in and they are in an overdue state. Here you can send them a message or even give them a nudge if their notifications are turned on. Lastly, in the client's profile, you can go to their personal check-in area, which will show you all the history of their assigned check-ins, which you can filter by whether it's been reviewed, not reviewed, and missed. You can also change the date range to find the check-in you're looking for. By selecting the Assign tab at the top of the page, you'll be able to view all assigned check-ins and even assign and unassign them from the bottom of the page.